Hey, what's going on, Flix Talkers? Welcome back to another recap and review, this time for the Gemstones Season 2, Episode 5, entitled Interlude 2. But before we do get into it, if you guys are familiar with my recap and review series, I like to go over my finer points of what I liked in this episode, what's to come prediction-wise in the next episode, Episode 6, and so much more. So if you guys enjoy videos like this, let me know by liking the video. It's the best way to support the channel, and it does spread these videos out to those that aren't subscribed. And if you yourself aren't subscribed, consider hitting that subscribe and bell notification today to always get alerted about my future videos. All right, guys, let's just get directly into episode 5, entitled Interlude 2. So once I saw Interlude in the title, I knew we were going to get a flashback, which we immediately do, to 1993, the Gemstone family studio compound. And this was cool because once again, we get to see the kids at a young age, Jesse and bratty ass Judy, man. Judy, yes, she is crazy in the, as she's an adult, but as a kid, she was even more crazy. And so was Jesse, but the bad seed is definitely Judy in my eyes. She's saying some crazy foul-mouthed stuff. So is Jesse in this episode in particular, but they're just foul-mouthed kids that are definitely privileged. They're definitely greedy. And this time, this could be the reason why they're popping off so much. We have a baby Kelvin in the mix now, which is looking about 3 to 5 years old, something like that. But we are at Christmas time, guys. Baby Billy Freeman's all in the mix. We have the whole gang here. Amy Lee, everybody's looking really, really happy. We have a really fun opening right in front of the Christmas tree and in front of the Gemstone family studios once again in 1993. Now we're walking and talking with Eli, who is talking to his accountants and all the people that are behind the scenes of the Gemstone family studios. Eli's talking about going bigger. He would like to build an arena. Something's telling him that he needs to spread the word even bigger, right? So of course that's going to cost a lot of money. His financial advisors are telling him it is not possible. He's technically in debt at this moment and that he's crazy. So what does Eli do? He doesn't like the words that are coming out of this man's mouth, so he fires him on the spot. He fires Jim Henson. He calls him on the spot for not putting all his faith in Eli Gemstone. Now, next up, we're back at the Gemstones main house, and it's Christmas time once again, so everyone's gathered in the living room, and we have baby Billy Freeman talking about leaving Harmon. Well, he definitely spins the story in his favor, saying that the wife and Harmon left him, that he was the one that was abandoned, when we know that's not true. Man, that was such an emotional opening, man, leaving Harmon like that at the pet store. How dare you, Billy Freeman? So he's trying to play the pity card, right? And especially during Christmas time, he's saying, I don't have anywhere to go. So Eli says, well, you can stay here for a while. Now, next up, and we saw him before, but Granddaddy Roy, we get to see in his older years as he is dealing Alzheimer's. Oh my God, this was so sad to see because yes, this is a comedy and there are dramatic moments, but this one was like, oh, this is one of those moments where you're like, oh, I hope I don't get Alzheimer's at that age and just really become confused about the world around me. I would hate to go through that. But this actor really pulled that off, and me believing that they love this man. That's Eli's father right there. And he's taking care of him. He's housing him. Even though this is something that seems like a very, very difficult task, he's walking around with a gun in his underwear, in his underoos, in his jammies, and it just seems like such a burden, but that just shows you another layer to Eli Gemstone. All right, now next up, and a huge part of this episode in my eyes, was Glendon coming back in Eli's life. Glendon at this point says that he's very, very well financially off, and he sees that Eli definitely has something going here, but he knows Eli is in a rut. He can tell, he can sniff it out like a bloodhound that Eli does need this money that he is willing to provide. But we know that it's dirty money. This ain't real deal, hard-working, blue-collar money. This is dirty, dirty money. And we're talking about $3 million in cash he's willing to give to Eli as a tithing, which I thought was really, really funny because they talk about the tax-free church, they talk about tithings, they talk about all of that stuff that really make it plausible to hide this money. Essentially, it's money laundering, and Eli even talks about that with Glendon, and I thought that was a hysterically scary scene because that could be going on. I mean, there's been instances with mega churches and preachers getting in trouble for hiding money like this within the church system. So It's crazy to think about. And Glendon talks about that he would only want a $2 million return. So this initial startup money to build the mega church, which he knows he's going to get back because of his following. So at this point, we're introduced to a young Martin who is hired as the new accountant for Eli Gemstone. And right out the gate, probably a couple of days in, he's introduced to this wild situation of, how are we going to hide this money, Mr. Gemstone, $3 million within the church payroll? How do we do that? And I thought it was really interesting too, especially once we get to the end of the episode, man. Martin is a ride or die, not just with money laundering, but with some other stuff that we'll talk about in a second. But ultimately, Eli does turn down Glendon's money, saying that, you know what? I know that this is dirty money, and even though this is an opportunity that may never come back in my lifetime, I gotta turn it down. Amy Lee was not sure of you. Even the father, Granddaddy Roy, in his Alzheimer's days, knows that Glendon is someone that's a bad person, and anything attached to him is bad, is dirty. You don't want to touch it. All right, now it is Christmas time. We get a cool montage with all the old school nostalgia. We get a Double Dragons arcade system. We get some toys that the kids are playing with that were definitely nostalgic. There was karaoke machines and stuff that I had seen when I was a little kid. So that's always a joy to see your nostalgia growing up in the early 90s. And then we get to see Amy Lee calling out baby Billy Freeman for lying about his family leaving him. He's the one that left the family because she called the wife and got the real deal story. As soon as I heard that, I said, woo, what are you going to do now, baby Billy Freeman? You lied your way through life, I'm sure, because this is a trait that is attached to him. He will not admit it, but he will do whatever it takes to be financially stable at whatever cost. It doesn't matter who he's going to hurt, who he's going to leave, who he's going to screw over. Baby Billy Freeman's got to get his. And once again, he plays the pity card. He plays the sympathy card saying, I couldn't financially provide and I didn't want to put him through that, yada, yada, yada. Eli feeds into the shit and he offers him a job. Man, I would have kicked his ass out, but he offers him a job to be a performer with Amy Lee, and it looks like it's going to go well for a little while until, you know, something happens with Amy Lee, which we're not into yet, so time will tell what's going to go on with this situation. We only have a couple more episodes left, guys. And during that Christmas performance where everyone is all together, Eli does make the announcement, unbeknownst to Amy Lee, that they are going to build a bigger church by the next year. She's like, well, how are we going to do that? He says God will provide, you know, have faith, which we know where he's going to get his money from. But let's jump to the next scene so I can talk about that. Glendon holds Martin and Eli at gunpoint at Eli's own house saying, you're going to take this damn money. You're not turning my offer down, buddy. And then we get Granddaddy Roy coming out once again with a shotgun saying, are we going hunting? And he just blasts Glendon in the stomach with a shotgun. A shocker moment that was extremely, extremely awesome because once again, even though you know that these gemstones are corrupt and they just are very, very greedy and self-indulged, you can't help but root for these people. So anytime someone bad comes in their life, an antagonist, you want this antagonist wiped out. At least I did. So I was happy to see Glendon go. And done by the perfect person too, right? I mean, he has Alzheimer's. He's going to forget about what he just did in the morning. And we do ultimately end this episode with Martin and Eli burying Glendon underneath the Exodus roller coaster, which then answers the ultimate question, why he was riding that Exodus so many times in previous episodes while BJ was watching, just looking dumbfounded on that ride over and over again. He was thinking about the body that was buried underneath. Holy shit. And most likely the money that he did take from the now deceased Glendon. Because what the hell are you going to do? Have a $3 million funeral for the guy? No, you're going to take that money. So that does conclude The Righteous Gemstones Season 2, Episode 5, entitled Interlude 2. You guys let me know what you guys thought of it. And if you guys did appreciate my recap and review of the episode, let me know by liking the video. It's the best way to support the channel. And it does spread these videos out to those that aren't subscribed. And if you yourself aren't subscribed, consider hitting that subscribe and bell notification, as I'll be back next Sunday breaking down the next episode for you guys. As once again, we are nearing towards the season finale of The Righteous Gemstones. I'm so excited. If you guys haven't heard by now, they have been renewed for a season 3. Can't wait to talk more gemstones on the channel, guys. Until next episode, I'm gone. Peace.